infinite.Max and the power of one mitzvah. We are presently going through the cycle of the beginning of the year. We've gone through Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We're in the midst of Sukkot, and soon we will be dancing with the Torah and begin our year anew. What exactly is the power of this whole process? Coming to synagogue for long hours, praying, crying, beseeching, contemplating, fasting, saying verses that are meant to arouse fear, love, crying, and then just as suddenly to begin the new year with joy. And so I want to tell you about the power of one mitzvah. What does it mean for one person to do one mitzvah, and how it can change your life? I have a friend, a dear friend. He is Rabbi Yitzhak Lipschutz, presently residing in Simferopol in the Crimea, but for a while he was in Detroit with me, and then moved to the great city of Birmingham, Alabama, and began the Chabad house there. After he established it, he went for new challenges and established a Chabad house in one of the poorest areas in the Crimea in Ukraine. He's a very, very talented, exciting young man. He looks like he belongs in the 15th century. And some of you may say, Rabbi, so do you. Well, maybe he does a little bit more than I do. My friend, Rabbi Lipschutz, served as the chaplain to a federal penitentiary in Birmingham, in the Birmingham area, very simply because no other rabbi wanted to go away from his flock for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Rabbi Lipschutz made all the arrangements. He got the food that was necessary, got the clearances, got the books, and established congregation Beit Sohar, the jail congregation of Alabama, approximately 35 white-collar criminals, all Jewish. He came there hoping that he could inspire and get them enthusiastic. He's a very lebedik, a lively guy, happy as can be, loves to crack a joke, loves to be warm with everyone. And the men were very cold and distant. And try as he might throughout the entire Rosh Hashanah prayers and services, there was no communication, no energy, no electricity, no excitement, no enthusiasm. He felt that his time had been wasted. Well, he thought, well, that's Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, you blow the shofar, you have Kiddush, you break things up, but Yom Kippur, a whole day fasting, we're all together, that'll get us more close, and so that'll bring out the enthusiasm, the electricity, and people will want to change. Again, started Kol Nidre, the nighttime, then the Shachrit prayer, the Musaf prayer, the Mincha prayer, and now he has but 1 hour left to Yom Kippur, and he felt that this was all worthless. He hadn't accomplished anything. He hadn't even been enthusiastic himself. So he turned to his congregants and he said, guys, we spent the last 24 hours together in prayer, meditation, but there's no electricity, there's no connection, there's no enthusiasm. It's just from the lips outside, there's no feeling. I can tell and you can tell. And here we have 1 more hour left to Yom Kippur, the prayer of Nihila. Nihila means that the gates for blessings for the next year are slowly closing, and we want to get into that gates of blessings and sneak in there and be blessed for the whole year. But how do we go there without any Torah or without any commandments? There's so many of them. Even I don't do all of them. So I have an idea. We're about 35, 36 guys over here. Why don't each one of us think about one mitzvah that you haven't been doing yet, and you're going to do it this year without rain or shine, without any problems. And I'll do the same. And together, by praying together, we should be blessed by those 35, 36 mitzvahs that will go before God and give us the blessings. And they liked the idea, and he turned around, he liked the idea also, and they were enthusiastic, and it was electric, and it was charged, and they were all participating in the songs, and jumping up and down, and every single phase of the Ne'ilah prayer was heartfelt. He felt the same way as they did. Afterwards, they started getting ready for the meal after Yom Kippur, when one of the congregants, his name, we'll call him Max, comes over to Rabbi Lipschutz and says, Rabbi, how do you do Shabbos? Shabbos? You want to do Shabbos, Max? Shabbos is a whole day. It's 25 hours in a 7-day cycle. You won't be able to do it. I can give you easier things to do. He says, Rabbi, you don't understand. I was never bar mitzvah. And the only thing that I knew was that the Goyim had Sunday and Jews had Shabbos. So that's what I want to do. Teach it to me. So the rabbi was forced to get a book in English. It was written by Rabbi Eider from Lakewood, New Jersey, 3 parts. It was the only book available in English at the time. And they started studying. 9-10 weeks go by. The 11th week, Max, who used to be the first student there, he'd have a private lesson with the rabbi, didn't show up. So when the guys came, the rabbi scratching says, guys, where's Max? So they told him, Rabbi, you're not going to believe this. Sit down. Max read in the book you gave him, in the introduction, that if the Jewish people were to sincerely fulfill the commandment of Shabbos for 2 weeks, they would leave the exile and go to the promised land. And so Max said to us, guys, I'm in exile. I don't want to be here. I want to go to my promised land. I want to go home. So if it's good for the general community, it should be good for the individual. I'm going to test God, and you're going to be my witnesses. We're going to test God together. And I'm going to learn everything it says in this here book. And I'm going to fulfill everything it says. And after 2 weeks, God's got to deliver, or else we don't believe in it. Well, last Shabbos was the second Shabbos, and we are his witnesses. He did everything that is mentioned in that book. Yesterday was Monday morning. The federal government started an early release program. And Max was the first person chosen in the country. And so, my friends, that's the power of one mitzvah. It's able to take a person from his darkness and bring him to light. What is needed is a little drop of sincerity. Shalom.